Hi, everyone. I am Vanessa Lengies, and I am here today with the most charming man, my co-star, Corey Sevier. Hello, Corey.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
We are here today to talk about our new movie, which is Take Me Back for Christmas, and it is part of Hallmark's Christmas in July series.
Woohoo.
Woo!
Love it. Christmas in July.
Yes. So we have a couple questions here, Corey, that
Yes.
Hallmark has sent us.
Yes.
Should we get started?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Mine is first, so I will begin.
Ladies first.
In Take Me Back for Christmas, my character, Renee, wishes her husband and her, Aaron, Corey's character, can have the life they always dreamed of. What happens when Renee's Christmas wishes come true? Yes. Well, I think we have to start by saying she makes this wish because their dream life is not happening currently.
That's right. Yeah. They're starting in one place. She makes the wish, ends up in another place. So without wanting to give too much away here,
Right.
there's a lot of surprises that come her way when she discovers she's in an alternate reality.
Yes, and to set the stage, my character Renee is married to Corey's character Aaron, and we have been married for a really long time. We live in a small town. We are living inside of my mother's house, and she has passed away. And the life we dream of is very much out of our reach, out of grasp at this point where we start the movie. And they're kind of, I think Renee is just not ready and hasn't been ready for a very long time to have that life of their dreams. And so the wish kind of happens as a little bit of a Renee doesn't even really think the wish is going to come true kind of wish.
100%. When she said, I mean, it's, what she wishes for, again, don't want to give it away, but it's after kind of a tough day and it's kind of a vague thing. So it's, she makes the wish, but it's not super specific with details, which is what, as it unfolds,
which is where the problems come in. They always say be very specific with what you wish for, and Renee was not very specific.
No. Cautionary.
So, pardon me. Say it again.
Tale, yeah.
Okay.
So great answer.
Yeah, that was great.
That's a great way to set the stage so people know kind of what's going on. So I will start with my question. Number 2, Renee discovers that her and Aaron are not married in their new life.
Drama.
Bit of a bombshell. So tell us how our characters' paths cross in the alternate universe.
Well, first of all, it's really heartbreaking. Like I would never want my character not to be married to Corey's character. Corey is so fun to work with. He also directed this whole movie. And this is actually the second movie that I've been in with Corey that he's directed and starred in. He is an unbelievable talent in every way I could name. And so even though I made this movie with you and I know what happens, I'm still heartbroken at the idea that my character wakes up in a reality not married to you. So,
well, thank you, first of all.
Yes.
I want to rephrase that by saying this is my second film that I've had the honor of directing Vanessa as my lead. We have known each other since we were 12.
12, that's correct.
And, and I'm not just saying this, you are the dream actor for a director to work with. And the first film we did, Heart of the Holidays for Hallmark, was so much fun. It was my first time directing. So having you there made my job that much easier. And then this time around, we're like, oh my gosh, we have this new story and it has even more comedy and even more, room for emotional depth and all. And I'm like, oh my God. So we were so fortunate to have you. So thank you. And now I've forgotten what the question was.
The question is once the wish comes true.
That's right.
In this alternate reality, she finds out that she's no longer married to you.
That's
and
right.
how do we find that out in this new world is the question.
Well, I would say there's, again, without wanting to give too much away, there are stages of this realization. There's a couple of, this is kind of weird. There's like the attempted phone call. Someone picks up, it's not Aaron. That's a little bit weird. But on top of that, she's got 50,000 other things going on simultaneously that she's trying to navigate. Again, no spoilers. But then when we do actually, of course, come face to face.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because it was one of my favorite scenes to film.
100%. Yeah.
So she walks into her apartment where she's lived with her husband for years and years. And but she doesn't know that it's not her apartment, but he does live there. And so she's essentially breaking and entering, um, which is hilarious. And Corey's character Aaron, who is a bachelor, is just like casually coming out of the shower. So we get a great Corey topless scene. I'm sure people are very excited about that. I know I'm. And that was just such a funny physical comedy moment to play. Corey, you did such a good job at two people, one being very excited to see who she thinks is her husband again, and the other person startled that there is a person in their house who they have not seen for 5 years in the storyline.
That's right. They've sort of, been apart for 5 years. So you can imagine what again, your performance, your everything about this is totally familial to you. For my character, he is, why are you in my apartment? And in this moment, as you alluded to, it's a vulnerable moment for Aaron, literally not expecting, like, embarrasses like pizza boxes and stuff like that. And you did so many beautiful, like, again, I don't want to spoil anything.
You fell on the floor a few of those takes. I don't know which one ends up in the movie, but
literally one of them, like, I full on just like, and that's what Vanessa and I, because we have that rapport, like all the improv stuff that we did was some of my favorite moments. I don't think the actual hit the deck one is in the movie, but pieces of it, like the lead up and the post. Anyway, so we really hope people enjoy it.
A blooper will come out afterwards with all of
the physical comedy that you do in this film. Like, we could have a full film of you just being amazing and
hilarious. I get to faint. I get to fall off chairs. I get to scare you off your feet. It's great. I love it.
God.
Yeah. I think that accurately answers that question.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shocker, that's for sure.
I'm excited to see that scene. That's really
it's one of my favorites.
Okay, number 3. Even though Renee's new life is not at all what she imagined, she does get the unbelievable chance to spend borrowed time with her late mother. Without giving away any spoilers, do we have a favorite scene that highlights their mother-daughter relationship?
That's a hard thing for me to answer because I love every single scene that you and Paula do in this film. Like, the two of you together is just, you guys dramatically, emotionally, and comedically you guys put your heart and soul into every one of these scenes. And, again, don't want to give too much away, but that's going to be, I hope, a really joy for the audience to experience, because you guys, were so natural. You fell into that. And I'll let you answer. But one of my favorite moments early in the film, when you first come into contact with your mom, is something that I believe you came up with on the day, or you and Paula together, where this wasn't scripted, but you're in your office and mom is there. And of course you have the faint, which is amazing, but then you fall. And again, I don't want to give too much away, but you're in like a high powered position. Okay. New York City. And she brings these cookies in a very sweet way. And she literally lays you down on a bed. And here's this like high powered CEO who falls into this like child mother relationship. And it's a simple thing, but it just was so beautiful. And and Paula's like reaction to it, it was unusual for you in this alternate universe, just so many layers. So that was one of my favorite scenes, because that really set the tone comedically and emotionally for the rest of the film.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the mother-daughter relationship between Paula and I is kind of a lot of the magic of the movie. It represents the love of family, and it's not just mother-daughter. It's just a family unit that love that you can't explain, that transports you from being an adult to being a child in the matter of minutes, like Corey was saying. Like, just you fall into it's almost like all the archetypes of mother-daughter are there, and just all the pain that causes, and the love that causes, and the joy that causes, and the nurturing. It just really is there. And Paula is so talented, but I think the scene that sticks out to me to represent that connection is the one where Paula helps my character Maria, her character's name's Maria. Maria helps my character come up with this idea that's going to kind of save the company that she now surprisingly works at. And it's these dinner meal kits. And in that scene, my character starts talking about her running into Aaron, and there's not a lot of words that they use to directly say the conversation about her relationship with Aaron, because she definitely wants to get him back, and she's confused as to how they didn't end up together, and my character's trying to get all this information. And Maria and Paula plays the way that a mom knows underneath what the child is actually saying and what the child actually wants, and what my best interest is in this like she's just 3 steps ahead all the time. Mama knows best, mother knows best. She just is. And it really it's wonderful, because in the storyline, Maria doesn't know anything that's going on. She doesn't understand that there's been a wish, that there's this alternate reality, that there's none of that is known to the characters other than Renee. So, but she still knows because she's mother, she knows like moms know. And so I really love that scene, because we're doing other things. We're talking about groceries and meal kits and all of this other stuff, but you can hear their conversation as mother-daughter underneath it all. And it's really loving and beautiful. And it's the conversation Renee's always wanted to have with her mom. Yeah. And she gets to have it. So I love that scene.
Yeah, me too. It's it is such a integral part to this story. Again, you guys just did such beautiful work. I was awed just watching it. So
thank you. Oh, okay. I think you're next, Corey.
Okay, I'm up next. Okay. Attempting to win Aaron back, Renee works together with his restaurant to create the Christmas meal kit. Now, can we share any qualities that our characters admire about each other that they may have taken for granted? That's a great question.
It really is.
Thought-provoking, and another major theme of the film that kind of, it just sort of comes and goes in these little moments. And a lot of this is about your character sort of having these little kind of aha moments along the way, but it's quite a frenetic story and journey that you're on. But again, you found these moments to be like, you're hearing things back that even in the very beginning, you don't have a ton of time with you and I and Aaron and Renee and the altar. There's a lot seated in those first early scenes that then start popping up.
Right.
So I'll let you run with, sort of what
comes up for me. What comes up for me, Corey, is that it's an interesting experience to see your loved ones actualize their dream, or having had actualized their dream. Like, people have dreams of becoming star chefs, or becoming, sports people. I don't know. But there's like, you're in love with somebody and they're your husband, and they've always wanted to do something in their lives and achieve something in their lives. And it's such a rare occurrence where my character gets to see her husband living out his deepest dream. And it breaks her in a way, because of course you want that for your loved ones. And I think it has her realize how much more supportive she could have been towards that goal for him, and how much she loves seeing him execute that desire inside of his soul. And I think that the question is about what she admires about him that she had taken for granted. And I think that is it. Like this, of course you want to see everyone you love get the things that they want. And she gets the chance to see that. And yeah, it was really special.
That's the magic of it, is that, I said so many times, and people universally, there are things that you want and life can get in the way along the way. And that's very much where we find these two characters at the beginning of the film. And, again, there are some shocking things like, oh my gosh, we're not together. How did that happen? But as the movie progresses, your character gets a window into something that's so important. My character says to you early on in the film, sometimes you just got to take a chance. You got to go for it. And that was something your character is struggling with. And to see it be a reality is really important. And on the flip side of that, I mean, it's a bit of a different scenario for Aaron in the alternate reality, because he has baggage and history with your character that you're not aware of, which again, as an actor, is just so fun to play, because it's so much nuance, and you'll say something and he'll be like, as if you were like, yeah, like,
right, like I'm supposed to know what we're talking about. Like I was there.
It's kind of familiar, but it also sounds crazy. So there's so much of that comedy, but on the emotional level, what I love as the film progresses is that your character, I think, reminds Aaron, even though it's a new reality, how fun and how spontaneous your character can be. And I think the events, without giving too many things away, it kind of forces you to be a little less like, but there's the checklist or there's various things. And it just, you get thrown into these fun scenarios, Christmassy scenarios. And that's what makes, it's a reminder for Aaron, who has had his heart broken by this reality's Renee. God, this is why I fell in love with her in the first place. Yeah. So that watching them rediscover that from different perspectives, I think is hopefully something the audience is really going to enjoy.
Yeah. And you know, I actually might just be realizing this in this moment, but my character also has forgotten about her own spontaneity.
Exactly.
Like it took being completely bewildered and unable to control absolutely everything around her to break into more of who she always was, which was funny and a little bit wild and spontaneous and playful. Whereas at the beginning, she's really forgot herself, and she's forgotten to be able to see her husband with clear eyes and their relationship with clear eyes. So yeah, that's there's a lot of surprises that happen in the alternative reality.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my next question is perfect. History starts to repeat itself in the new world when Renee strives to have it all in her new life. Are there any lessons Renee learns as she tries to rebuild her relationship with Aaron? I mean, we kind of cover it.
That's it. It's I think it's that rediscovering of that true self that had been, just for various reasons, sort of held back. So yeah, I think we've kind of, that's sort of answering it, unless you want, is there anything else you can think of to add on to that? I mean,
I think as somebody who loves being in relationship, and I've been in relationships I feel like I'm not the single person. I love long-term relationships. Yeah. And I think the lesson that my character learns, and that I learned in doing this movie, and I like to apply to life in relationship, is that there is a danger of just getting used to somebody you see all the time and relating with them as if they're the same person that you first met, or they're even relating with them as if they're the same person they were a year ago. And really, doing what it takes to open your eyes and see this person fresh, new, as who they are today, and realizing that we're all just growing, and we have to get to know each other newly on a regular basis. And I think Renee just gets a really remarkable experience of that, like an outside of the norm experience of that, with the wish and the changing of realities. But it is something that I think many people in relationship can relate to, and not just partnered relationships, like friendships and relationships with your family. Like I have that with my real life parents, remembering that they are not who I remember them as from childhood, that they are people that I can get to know today. And I think that lesson is a universal one that really applies to all of our connections. So
absolutely. Yeah. And what I like about the scenario that touches on the theme of being in a relationship and being so comfortable in that relationship, as you beautifully put, that you can't help but start to just always assume that person is going to be there for you. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to be in a healthy, relationship, and this scenario literally initially takes that completely away just by circumstance. So it's like,
that's great.
When she makes the wish, she just assumed, my dream life would include him. And again, the specificity is very important, but it was, so that's what's really fun about that. And then I think for Aaron, when it comes to the relationship, the growth for him is he has a different, as I mentioned, history. So there's a little bit of trust that has to be rebuilt as well, because obviously when he sees her for the first time, he's going, we hint at, there is something missing in Aaron's life in the new reality, but you don't always want to reveal that to a person that, you had a previous relationship and you're not together with anymore. I mean, that's probably the average person. That's the last thing I want to admit, that, yeah, life's going good. But and because you know him so well and you have that, they have that history, shared history in both timelines, but then that extra years of marriage, your character is able to touch on things that he doesn't really know how she's doing it, but he feels it on a very acute level. So
yeah,
totally. It's pretty fun and pretty powerful to watch, I think.
Agreed. It's really fun to watch her try to get him back. It's just pure comic gold of just how do you try to win your husband back when he's no longer your husband?
Exactly.
And she fails at it over and over and over.
And that's the thing. It's like she tried. Yeah, it's, again, no more spoilers, but like the things that you comedically try to do, which is probably outside of who you actually are, it's very funny.
Right. I don't think in her in the world where they start, I don't think she's ever had to try to him ever. Like that's just not part of that storyline. So it's really a treat that they get to go there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, all right. So the next one is so Renee encourages Aaron to pursue his hobbies outside of his career and challenges him to a match of ice hockey. Did you have any experience ice skating before the filming?
Did you, Corey? Did you?
So this is a dream come true for me because I've spent my whole life skating and playing hockey. And I don't. One of the next questions is going to talk about my connection to the writer of this film, but she's known this. My wife, who wrote this, knows that I love hockey. So the fact that I got to do a hockey scene in this movie was like, okay, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll play hockey. So I had a lot of experience. But you, Vanessa, you are the true story here when it comes to the ice skating. I was blown away because you told me, and I asked, I said, "You skate, right?" And you correctly said, "Well, yeah, I grew up in Canada. I skate." But you had never, if I'm not mistaken, ever played hockey, like the stick, puck,
I've never picked up the stick with the bent end and tried to connect that to a tiny little plastic black puck. No. It was a big first.
Yeah, and anyone who watches this film, you can just appreciate that this is the first time you've ever played hockey, and we're doing it on the fly, and you nailed it. And we literally watch you because the way we cut the montage of us doing the skating scene is literally like the beginning. It's a little shaky, and then you get legitimately good. Like you're pulling moves, you're dangling, and I was just like, you don't know how this is going to go because I said, okay, regardless, when we talked about it, I'm like, look, whether you're great or not, it's going to be hilarious. It's endearing. They're falling in love again. It's very romantic. But you were legit. You knew what you were doing, and I was so impressed.
That compliment coming from you means a lot. That's huge because I was nervous. Knowing that scene was on the docket, and knowing how much you love hockey and are good at hockey. And I think I remember suggesting that the end of the scene was us passing the puck back and forth, that I was getting really confident. And I just remembered in this moment, we had the incredible fortune of having a camerawoman who was a champion hockey player.
He was incredible.
She just plopped that camera on her and she was skating around like it was no big deal.
She was the best skater of the entire crew and cast, and she did it with a camera, holding a camera. But that's how we were able to get so many dynamic shots, like literally weaving through us. Like you really feel like you're there playing with us. We were that was again, I mean, obviously bias aside, getting to play hockey, but it was one of the most fun scenes. And it was
crazy rain that day.
Despite the fact that it was pouring rain. This was shot on our last day too. And Vanessa was like, so it's hanging over Vanessa's head like the whole movie, like, oh, the skating scene's coming up. And then it pours rain, and we're like, what are we gonna do? And thankfully, where we shot, there was a Zamboni close by to where we were shooting, and they gave us this beautiful flood. Then we started shooting the actual hockey stuff, and the rain stopped and the sun started to come out, and it's just this beautiful, it's a scene that I'm so proud of. And it's purely improv. Like, we were just out there, we didn't talk that much about it, it's just let's have fun.
Let's
And
go.
it captures so many, I think, just organic moments between us. And you're hilarious, and
Oh, I'm really excited to see it.
I can't wait for you to watch it. You should be proud.
I'm really excited for that. And I want to also thank all of the background performers that day, because that freezing rain was something else.
They were troopers.
Christmas in July.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, great. This is the next question about Kate.
Yes.
Kate Pragnell, Corey, is your wife, and
Correct.
she wrote this perfect script. Oh. And can we both share our own experience of bringing Kate's script to life?
I'll start simply because I got to Kate, and I literally were sitting on the couch one night and came up with a concept. So literally from the ground up, and as a director, being able to literally have a front row seat to, a script being created and being able to work with her on it, it's a real joy. And my goal, and this is the third time that I've been able to direct one of Kate's and act in it, was to just try to do. She put so much depth and thought into the characters, and nuance, and there's so many important themes, I think universal themes, that she tries to thread in to these incredibly fun stories. I felt it was my job to do everything in my power to do honor to what she created with these characters in the story. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I was just blown away by what she created. And then I passed the baton to you, because this story is literally, you are in every scene, every moment. It's your dream, it's your perspective. And it was such a demanding part that required so much. It's very funny, physical, dramatic, emotional, the whole thing. And we couldn't have asked for anyone better suited for the role. So and then on top of it, I got to play Aaron. So it's like, if you have any questions about the character, you don't have to to go very far. And I had such an intimate knowledge of what we were trying to do with all of the characters in the film. It helped me as a director being on the set. So I'm very fortunate to not only have Kate in my life, most importantly have her in my life just as my partner, but we got to do something and create a story we were both so passionate about. And then to have our cast come in and take it even beyond what was on the page was, we both still get goosebumps whenever we sit down and look at these scenes. So
I feel really emotional talking about it, to be honest, because I got to work with both Corey and Kate for Heart of the Holidays, or Heart of the Holiday?
Heart of the Holidays, I think was
Heart of the Holidays.
Yeah.
And I think Kate is such a brilliant writer, and I love you both as my friends and as a family. And I guess at this point we were, even with Vortex and the production crew, it was a family, because it was people that we had been working with for years. And as an actor, it's very rare. I'm sure I have never had the opportunity to be in every single scene of a production, and have the entire movie be from my perspective, and to have the movie be on the topic of love and this bond between mother and daughter. I love my mother so much, and I'm an only child, and I don't know, I'm sure everybody experiences this, but with parents, but as an only child, it's this very confusing thing to have this person you love so much and not know how to sometimes cope with the idea of being apart, or death, or there's these just really big human topics that come up for me as a human. And the way that Kate wrote this movie had me feel like I got to have some freedom about how how I see, you know, our ability to appreciate and be grateful for the time that we have with our loved ones, and to not take things for granted, and to be able to honor that love, um, both for the family that you create with your husband or your wife or your partner, or, you know, the family that you create with by choice, and then the family that you're brought into. And gosh, it Corey and I are both Cancers, and I don't know if anybody follows astrology, but it's a very emotional sign. And I just feel honored as a Cancer and as somebody who has a lot of approval for a lot of emotions, the ability to play this character and hold all of that at the same time, and be really just ripping. I felt like I was ripping my heart open in a good way every single
day. Yeah.
Every single day. And it was, and multiple times through the day, because we shot this movie in 13 days. And so it could have been that morning I shot a scene where I was saying goodbye to somebody I loved, and then at the end of the day I was doing this really funny scene with a business partner who I just met for the first time, even though we were working together for 5 years. And so I just feel so gifted, and I'm so blessed to have had this opportunity, is what I'm trying to say. And really, that was because of your idea, and you were and Kate's creation. And I feel like a broken record, but I couldn't have imagined a better experience. It was really special.
It was, and yeah,
really special.
it was. And you know, it's funny, you know, because we've had this unique experience of working with the same team.
Yeah.
Kate writing the script, you and I knowing each other for so long, acting together, and then me in the role of director. In a weird way, Heart of the Holidays, a few years ago, it's, you know, that these were two, like, you know, high school, you know, in that film, they'd fall in love, and they broke up and came back. And what Kate had said about this script, which always resonated with me, was this is the next step in maturity in love and a relationship. And what really drew me to this was for all the fun and joy and Christmas and all the fun that we had on set, there was some of the themes, there's a maturity to love, and that it's almost like they're not connected in any way, the two films, but it was like we all have evolved in our own lives and relationships in these few years between the films. And I feel like our life experience allowed us all to drop back in, and suddenly it's like this is a husband and wife where they start as a husband and wife, and the things that can come out of those relationships that are so solid. Yet it's a nice reminder of, you have to, as you said earlier, you have to keep growing. You grow yourself, but you have to also acknowledge and be open to the growth of your partner and all that stuff. So you know, you get both in this film. You get the husband and wife, but you also get two people falling in love again. But there's a maturity to it, and I was so proud that Kate had created that, and watching her evolution as a writer and as a person inform her stories in new ways as we evolve as people. So anyway, we're going on and on, but it's you know,
I love it. It's so true, and it's so moving, and I hope that people can feel that and see that when they watch it. I also remembered the Heart of the Holidays original name, also written by Kate. Yes. Original name of that movie was The True Meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's a wink to The True Meaning of Christmas, the original title in our movie that's about to premiere.
Keep an eye out for a little Easter egg there.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, you're next. Number eight.
So that brings us to our wonderful magical elf, played by Kimmy Trone. She was amazing. And so in this movie, the magical elf plays a very big role, and she has this legend of granting wishes. So the question for us is, if we had any wishes come true for Christmas, what would it be? I've been thinking about this one.
Okay, go for it.
And you know, it's like a broad question, you know, and this is what I came up with. It might be cheesy, but Christmas growing up was always my favorite time of year, because it was that time of year where the world for a couple of days stops, working stops, and if you're fortunate enough to have family to share with, those days, just kind of 3 or 4 magical days where everyone gets together. So if I had a Christmas wish, it would probably be something along the lines of allowing that time, that special time of year, to last longer. you know, because you always want, and there's a major theme in this film about wanting to enjoy the time with your loved ones. And I think that if anything, if I had a wish, it would be to elongate that period of time where the world stops and you just get that.
And so it is. I love that, Corey.
Christmas, yeah.
I didn't have one, and that was great. You kind of bought me time to think about it.
Yeah.
And my answer. I would wish for my entire family to be able to be together. Everyone, extended family, the whole lot. It would be, my wish would be that it would be easy for us all to be in the same place for that extended period of time. So the issues of travel and all of that would be figured out, and we would just be all together. Grandparents, cousins, second cousins, 18th cousins, all of it.
Love it.
And everyone's partner and friends and animals, and everyone could just, all the animals could even be there. Everyone's pets.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's what I would wish for.
I love it.
In Renee's new reality, Aaron has fulfilled his dream of becoming chef extraordinaire and has a passion for creating different dishes. Corey, what was it like playing the role of a chef? And do you enjoy cooking in real life?
Okay, well, yes, I love to cook in real life, but I think Kate was subtly hinting at something here, like fantasy of, I love to cook. I am not a professional chef, but reading between the lines, I'm like, are you saying you want me to take some lessons? Because I got to learn a little bit about being a chef. It was actually my first time ever playing a chef. We love food. I love to cook. But obviously my character, Aaron, elevates it, takes it to another level. And thank goodness we had an incredible art team with experience in working in restaurants and high-end restaurants.
Is his name Dave? Dave?
Yes.
His name is Dave.
And he cooked. I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, I remember.
The actual meal that you see us create, I'm like, I'm taking that home with me tonight to eat. And I think if I remember correctly, he split it into 2 plates.
Oh, and we were done with the scene where the scene's finished. And I think I might have been ravenous and ate the rest of my dish. You need to eat slowly. So you took yours to go.
Yes. You know me so well. I'm a very slow eater. Yeah.
Slow eater. So yeah, but I think after we cut and wrapped the scene, I stayed there and finished the plate. It was so delicious. He was so talented.
Oh, he was so talented. And also like
is so talented.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so anyway, yeah. So I learned, and it was inspiring to watch what my character was able to do. And it's inspired me to try and up my game. And I have been a little bit.
Did you go take courses, or what did you do?
I didn't take courses, but we've been making meals with recipes that we're just finding online. That's just like kind of trying to push it up a little bit. So it has inspired me to try and broaden my culinary horizons a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So next time you guys are in town,
there you go. We're coming to have dinner at your house.
You're coming. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, super fun. And to wear the chef suit is just always fun. You just, you feel like you're a professional. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And my character gets you a funny apron.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, we shot that on the first day. Exactly. In the trailer.
Yeah, we shot that the first day. That's correct.
Yeah, that was our first day shooting, was all the cooking stuff. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And not originally in the original script, by the way, little Easter egg. We didn't know what he was going to be. And then they're like, it's Christmas time. Who doesn't want to think about food and cook? So it was actually, between Kate and the team at Vortex came up with a really nice concept there that was really fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved shooting all of the scenes, trying to win you back at the restaurant. That was probably some of my favorite filming days.
It's so good. And again, just a lot of improv. Like all that stuff is pure us just kind of having fun in the kitchen. So, yeah. I hope the audience enjoys it as much as we did shooting it. So
right. We're the number 2 fans of this movie.
Exactly.
I love it.
Okay. So, our character's relationship starts to develop when the aforementioned cooking of the Christmas meal happens for the meal kit. Are there any fun behind the scene moments that we can share? Kind of already answered that. Legitimately wolfed down. Well, I don't wolf it down, but very slowly ate the rest of the meal that our wonderful art team put together for us. I love, this was in Kate's original script, but like all the chopping stuff and then like the onions and the tears coming down, you just played it all so hilariously and beautifully. I don't know if you remember the potatoes. Do you remember when you were
Yeah,
peeling?
they're flinging the potatoes back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, it turned into a legit kind of food fight, which is in the film. I kept it in, and it's so fun. Yeah. Anything else do you remember from that?
My brain kind of got stuck because I said we're the number 2 fans of this movie. What I wanted to say was we're the 2 top fans of the movie. Anyways, so I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted to say. I got stuck. So I just wanted to say that. And then I do remember thinking, oh, all of my friends know I cannot cook and that I do not cook a lot, and they will be able to see my lack of skill in this beautiful scene montage that we're shooting right here that
Yeah.
leads up to the food fight. So I mean, we just had so much fun that day, and there was a part of me that had to surrender and just say, yes, I do not know how to properly use a knife, and it worked.
It worked perfect. And even if you didn't have the cooking skills, the fun and charm that you bring to that scene is what makes the scene.
Oh.
It's no, honestly, it's so fun. You dancing in the kitchen and all this stuff that we just kind of found and improved on the day. And yeah, and it made me think that actually this is the second film in a row where I think your character says something along the lines of like, yeah, I can't even make a piece of toast. And I didn't even realize. So we were tailoring these to your skill set.
That's perfect. That's Kate's got my back.
She's got your back. Exactly.
She'll make me play hockey, but she won't make me pretend that I know how to cook.
Watch out. The next one, you're going to be the chef.
I will start practicing now.
Yeah, exactly.
While Renee is living in her new reality, she realizes the importance of cherishing Christmas with loved ones. Do we have a holiday experience that we would like to redo?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good,
kind of a heavy question, Hallmark.
Exactly. Honestly, I didn't have anything that came to mind. Because some of the hilarious things that you maybe would think to redo, like I remember one year, my brother and I were a little older. We were living away, from where my parents were, and my parents did this beautiful thing every year that like we all had to be together to pick the Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. So one year, of course, it was like we were getting in like the afternoon of Christmas Eve. So we're running to the Christmas tree lot, and it's literally completely picked over, and there's like one little scraggly tree like in the back. And so we picked that one, and it's like half frozen and it's like all lopsided. But honestly, that's the best Christmas tree we ever had. Like it's the one we continue to talk about. So a lot of the like hilarious, like, I can't believe this happened. What a disaster. We burnt the dinner. We couldn't find the Christmas tree, to me are some of the best memories. So I couldn't think of one that I would redo because
they all turn out to be memorable.
Yeah, exactly.
Unique way. I completely agree with you. I definitely in my life don't like to play the game of do over, or because you can't, right? So and what came to mind when you were sharing was my first snowless Christmas, because growing up in Canada we always get a white Christmas. That's just that's the
you want it or not.
Of living in such a very cold environment. No, so I think the first year I was in Los Angeles, I was just a baby. I wasn't just a baby. I was in my teenage years, but I was young. And I think I was really sad to not have that experience with the snow. It's just the tradition of it. And I was used to that.
Oh yeah.
That being what Christmas was about. And then looking back on it, like you said, it was such a fun Christmas. We made up for it we put on everybody got matching pajamas, and I think we got fake snow and put it all in inside and made it seem, and got the frosted stuff for the windows and the spray stuff. And so, of course, when I look back on that Christmas, I was sad leading up there, and there was like some disappointment, but then it turned into a wonderful time because the holidays are about family and what you make of it, and not those outside circumstances. And exactly.
I can share one last little tidbit. So this last Christmas, it's not a want to redo, but it would have been. My poor brother and his girlfriend were trying to make it back for Christmas, and they ran into all kinds of travel issues. it was like to the point where they weren't sure if they were going to make it for Christmas, and they arrived Christmas Eve at like 11 o'clock at night. So had he not been able to make it, that would have been, what you do and whatever it be. It was out of his control. But in the end, the Christmas magic came through it, and he literally made it like within minutes of Christmas. So
that's awesome.
It was a happy ending. It was definitely happy.
We love a happy ending.
Yeah.
That's all the questions.
That's it. All
right.
right.
Next is a game.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Are you ready?
Fire. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. It'll be like on the ice with the puck back and forth.
Exactly.
So I'll read one and then you answer, and then you read one and I'll answer. Should we both answer?
Yes. Okay. So whoever reads the question, the other person will have their first answer, and then we'll give. I guess we both answer. So
we both answer.
Yeah. So you ask me, I'll answer, and then you answer, and then vice versa.
So the puck is not going to go back and forth, except the puck is the question asker.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
But both people with the stick answer the question.
Right.
Make it about hockey. Make it about hockey. Okay. Corey and Vanessa, yes. Past or present?
Present.
Present.
Gotta live in the present.
Got to.
Okay. Vanessa, ice hockey or ice skating?
With my newfound skill, I might say ice hockey, but if you wanted me to participate tomorrow, I would say ice skating.
And of course, no surprise, ice hockey for me.
Woohoo! Okay, this one's tough.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate or coffee?
Hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee, so hot chocolate for me.
I stopped drinking coffee too, so hot chocolate for me as well.
Boom.
Look at that.
Love it.
I think sticks are in the lead.
Exactly.
Corey, Christmas in July or Christmas in December?
Okay, recency bias, but I gotta say Christmas in July, right?
Yes, Christmas in July is the best.
Nice. Okay.
We get our nice dose. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, decorate the Christmas tree or cook Christmas dinner. I think I know the answer to this.
I will decorate the tree, and you?
Well, I also will say decorate the tree because, like I said, I'm just learning. I'm the learner.
Yeah. Kate.
Yeah, Kate's like, I do the Christmas dinner. I help. I'm a good helper. I'm the sous chef.
We need you. Corey and I are going to decorate the tree. You cook the dinner.
Exactly. That feels right.
I'll tell Kate if she doesn't want to. We'll just order in. Okay. Yeah. Christmas movies or Christmas music?
Okay. I'm going to go with Christmas movies because Christmas movies have a lot of Christmas music. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
I love what you did there. I have to agree. I am obsessed with Christmas movies. I love all Hallmark movies, and that's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Love it. That is
great. And with that, I want to thank everyone for joining us. This has been really, really fun. We're really excited for you to watch Take Me Back for Christmas, which is premiering when, Corey?
Saturday, July 15th at 8/7 Central, only on the Hallmark Channel.
That is so soon. And if you're going to live tweet, you can use the hashtag Take Me Back for Christmas. It's just all one thing. Okay.
Take Me Back for Christmas.
And I'm at Little Lengies on social media. If you want to add me to your live tweet.
That's right. And for me, Twitter, Corey_Sevier. So yeah, great. I hope everyone has an amazing Christmas in July, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.